Welcome back. We are continuing making a GR campaign. This is going to be the first mission. So far we've set up the blue cap approximately, and we've sort of put some red cap in. I didn't change any of the advanced waypoint actions for waypoint 0. And I usually like to do this to make them a bit more exciting. But the one I usually change is the AA missile attack ranges. And to make them a bit more human-like, I vary these between the flights. So I might say do a no escape zone launch, so they want to get nice and close, and then launch a more deadly missile. But then another one I like is the launch by target threat estimate. And this is quite good if you've got a lot of different aircraft going up against your AI. So I'm going to make most of them this, and then a couple of them I'll make no escape. Now the smart thing to do would be to set this up on the first one you make and then copy and paste it like we did before, but I'm just going to quickly do this. Okay, so that's the red cap fixed. We're not going to set up a zone for them because they are literally going to fly in and do that. We've still got their late activation to set up, so far it's just ticked, but we'll sort that at the end. Right, moving on to the air to ground. So the reds are going to be occupying this island. This is going to be our front line between the two. The reds, most of the heavy air stuff is going to come from the mainland or a ship or something of that nature, but we won't actually put it in because that will be like a last day of the campaign thing, to like the ships maybe got all the way here and then we got to blow it up. Got to think about these things in advance. So we'll set up some helicopter fobs for the reds. Okay, so we're going to come over and we'll go heliport, and we'll probably just put in these farbs because they're easier to see. So I think one's probably going to be up here somewhere because it's got a little bit of protection from the hills. It's got the supply lines, so there's a road here, there's a town. So why don't we put it just outside this town? Okay, so we've got our heliport. We will change this to red, and we're just using the red task force because they've got most of the aircraft. Okay, so now we're going to set up the vehicles to make this farm actually functional. Obviously the AI doesn't care because it's AI, but we care, and we might put some red players on at some point for one of the missions or something, so we'll try and make it work. So park these over there. Should just about cover anything taking off from the pad. Anyone takes off from here, bad luck. Okay, so now we need to make this come alive a little bit more. So I'm going to add a few static objects just to make it a bit more interesting. So we'll have helicopters and we'll get some red helicopters. So now we're just going to copy and paste a few of these. Bonus tip, hold down shift and you can copy more than one object. And then you can build bases real quick. The only downside is if you're clicking around with shift held and you miss, then it unselects all the ones. That's a little bit annoying. Okay, let's add a few static buildings. Let's put some more hefty buildings. We'll make this a semi-permanent structure. Okay, that's good. So that's one objective, is to find and destroy that target. Okay, so when you're setting difficulty, you need it to be one of these two, ideally. Otherwise, weird things tend to happen, like they don't attack the targets properly, or they just bugger off and don't do anything. We're going to come into advanced waypoint actions, and we're going to give them some options like reaction to threat. We're going to just do evade fire. Okay, so we set them up to evade fire, and now we'll just add a few of these. We're going to make sure they're on takeoff from ramp, so they'll appear on one of these pads. We'll set up 4 of them. They'll cold start and they'll take off pretty much immediately. Let's give them some waypoints. So they're not really doing a lot, they're just adding a little bit of dynamic to the mission. Okay, so now we're going to set up a staging area, and that's going to be the main target for mission 1 that they'll be told about in the mission. This is basically, this side of the island is effectively going to try and invade this side, and they're just collecting all their resources. So we need to find a port. Well, there's one around here. Okay, got ourselves some vehicles. Now we need to add some defenses, because otherwise this little operation is just going to get absolutely annihilated. And these need to be mobile defenses because they'd have just got here. Okay, let's put in a SHORAD missile system. Let's stick an OSA in. The altitude ramps up significantly, so I'm going to stick that slightly further away from the area. Up the top of the hill, perhaps. Okay, let's set our advanced waypoint actions up. Now we're going to copy and paste that, and we're going to stick that over on the FARP as well. So that's 2 areas set up. I'm now going to set up a load more areas in a similar fashion, and we'll be back with you very shortly. Okay, so I've added a few more things. There's a couple of different targets. If they find all the stuff and kill it, we'll just add more. That's fine. But for now, we've got the staging area target, we've got the FARP, and we have a couple of other ammo dump, warehousey kind of targets that will be like, if you come across it, congratulations. Now we're going to put in the basic SAMnet setup. So we've got a few SA8s and they're protecting main targets. There's one up here somewhere, there's one here somewhere, one here, one here. So now we just need to add a couple of these slightly longer range, maybe medium to long range. We don't want to be too crazy, because if we put like an SA10 down and it just starts spamming people when they're coming in and out for landing at San Carlos, that's kind of annoying. So now we need to work out which SAMs are going to work for good defense but not be too annoying. I think SA11 should be okay. Yeah, so I think we're going to hide one of these in the fields here. So we'll change this back to a search radar. We'll set it up as excellent. We will set our advanced options in the usual manner. We could put this close to the coast and then make the interception range shorter, which would be one way around the tightness of the map. So we'll think about that in the future. Okay, SA11 in. We should probably give it some kind of protection. So I'm just going to add in a couple more of the shulkers to catch anyone who's trying to strafe, basically. That's the goal. Okay, we're going to copy and paste the SA11. Okay, move it around a bit. Stick these in slightly different places. Okay, so now we're going to put in everyone's favorite, the SA15. We'll probably have, I would say, 6 of these in total, maybe in the whole area. Okay, I've placed down 6 Tors, 6 Tunguskas. We've got 3 SA11s. Okay, so here is the SAMnet. They've slightly changed it. If you look in the top right, you can now see you can toggle the search and target rings, which is good. And you can see, if we just turn off the search rings, that we have decent coverage of the entire island. We're a little bit thin at the top. Okay, so we've got an SA6 up north now. It's not quite got the range of the SA11, but it's a good missile system. I think we'll probably put another one at the south of the island. Maybe down here somewhere. So we'll just copy and paste that. Okay, there we go. The SAMnet is building. Now, it's not going to take long for them to pick through the SAMnet still. So we'll make these ones slightly easier to get so that the helicopters can then have something to do. Otherwise, they're just going to get smacked in the face by missiles, and that's no fun for anyone. We'll make the ones down here harder because they're going to be attacked by planes more than likely. So let's put a big SAM back here on this island so that it can just fire out wherever. I don't know about SA10. As I said, that's probably a bit too much, but we'll see. SA5 would just be ridiculous. That's even worse than a 10. So let's just place a launcher down for a 10 and just see what kind of range we're getting. That's not too bad, actually. We could do SA10. Might be a... We'll make the engagement range like 80% or something. I'm just going to double up on the radars to make this a bit more interesting. So they might think they've killed it, and they haven't. Okay, so we've got the TEL-D, that's got the communication bots on the back, and now we'll just add in a bunch of TEL-Cs. Okay, let's spread these out a little bit. Okay, they should be functional within that distance. Let's have a little look at their engagement ring. Oh yeah, that's going to be spicy. And then we're just going to change their engagement range to 85%. Okay, let's save that before anything weird happens. And there's the basic layout. I'm sure we'll add some more to it next time. If you found this video helpful, I would appreciate a like. Let me know in the comments which SAMs you would have used to defend this island. If you want to find out more about the SAMs, you can check out this playlist. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the skies.